Hello there, welcome to a tyke farming in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ding-a-ling, ding-dong, the bell. It's Tuesday morning, just turned 6:30. We'll have 3 men on the site today. All 3 I would imagine will be working in the sari shop for in the ceiling up, in the veranda. We've got the charcoal man back on site. He's just starting to chainsaw again. He's early, so I would imagine he'll be taking 3 loads out this morning. So as usual, I'll make a couple of videos throughout the day and we'll get back to you shortly. I've just been looking at the feed, and over the last 4 days we've used 48 kilos of feed on 12 pigs. So that's 4 days. So these pigs are eating 1 kilo of feed a day at the moment each, which is good. The pig technician said they'd be on 750 grams a day initially, and then he came down again and he said they'd be on 500 grams a day, but there's a feed chart on the internet, so that was a mixed message. But we've got 1 kilo a day into them, which is, at this stage, everything's growing on them. The muscles, the bones, nervous system and everything else. So the idea with ad lib feeding is that when the first wean is to get as much food in them as you possibly can. Have feed in front of them all the time, because that gets them off to a good start and the growth rate goes up right throughout the life. If you just maintenance feed weaned pigs, if they get stunted in the growth, they'll remain stunted all their life and they won't grow, or they won't grow as much as you want them to grow. They'll put on fat, and you don't want them putting on fat at this stage. If you start them off well, they'll continue growing upwards right throughout their life. So I think we're doing well with feed with them. Now, Jean's just been talking to the charcoal man, and the pigs around the corner are still available. So we'll probably go and have a look at them this morning or this afternoon, and if we like the look of them, we'll buy them. So that'll give us 24 pigs in the shed. I'll stop there. Well, we've only got 3 pens, so I'll have one spare pen then. The pen's on the other side, the channel's not been put in yet, so we can't put pigs in this side anyway. Well, here they would, because they just have the effluent flowing out onto the ground, but I don't want to do that. We'll be covered in flies, and it's not a good thing to do. So I'll make another video shortly. The morning routine. Pigs are being cleaned out, and then we'll feed them. There's a bit of feed left from last night. Which they'll clean up, and with feed left from last night, we'll put a bit more water in, and that's what they'll get this morning. And then I've just made another bin of feed, which is soaking up there. but they're definitely a lot plumper than what they were. Washing out the gullies on the outside. I don't know if you can see, but they're very easy to wash out. She's getting up to where the muck is now, and when it gets to the other end, I'm going to test the pH of it to see what the acidity level is going into the cesspit, and it needs to be, as far as I remember, around neutral. I've never had a septic tank before, but for the bugs to work and break down the muck, it's got to be within a pH range. So I'll see what it is now. That's what we've got. Now, as far as you can see, it's 7, which is neutral. The second one down is a bit yellower than the beige, which is shown, but the top one is about right. So that's the closest I've got to the reading is 7. So that reading won't be exact, and my reading of it won't be exact, but it gives us an idea. If we're neutral, 7, then we're going to have no problems with the septic tank. I'll recheck what I read about it, because I can't remember. But I think if the acidity level rises above 9, then it'll kill the bugs in the tank, and it'll stop digesting the waste. So it gives us a rough idea, so we've nothing to worry about there unless it changes. Now the pigs are very active this morning, they're all jumping up and down and playing, which is building muscle, of course. Now I won't feed them this morning, there's about 2 kilos left in the trough, and there's a fair bit of feed on the floor by the trough, so I'll feed them lunchtime, let them clean all that up. Doing the pigs, we're all washed out, and the pen's been disinfected, and this is his new feeding system, this bit of pipe.
I will get my hand.
Do you want to get the camera?
Okay.
Hold that pipe with the other hand if you can. I should knock it over.
Look how they eat. Fighting with each other.
They're making pigs of the sounds.
Yeah. What they do is just eat all day.
Eat and that's it. That's it, it just stays getting it all over the pigs. It's quite heavy.
Hey, put that inside there.
No. So everybody's happy again.
Very happy.
And as you can see, they're really chucking into the feed. There was a kilo of feed left, a kilo and a half of feed left in the top, which is scraped out, and I've put it back in now. They just associate humans at the front of the pen They're feeding, so it stirs them all
Look,
up.
look, look, look.
It stirs them all up and you get a feeding frenzy going. They're certainly gobbling all of it. Fortunately, we've got
Next
more.
few days, they are not fit na in there.
No, we won't have to climb in.
This one, oh, he's not fit na in there next few days. They really think all the food is in there.
You'd think they're not being fed for a week.
Yeah. They had the food all day.
Yeah.
That's their job.
Yeah. To grow. Not get fat. Not at this stage, but to grow. It's hard to believe in 4 or 5 days how much they've grown, but they have grown. We'll weigh them again, maybe
Friday.
10 days.
Friday, that's 1 week when you get them.
Well, we could do it Friday, yeah. I was thinking 60 days.
60 days.
But I think I'll be maybe not be here when they're 60 days old, or maybe won't be here.
No, you're here. Since they...
No, I'll be flying out on the
Yeah,
boat.
I know. I mean, 60 days since we get them, or no?
No, 60 days old. They were 45 days old when we got them. That's disinfectant the pig technician gave me. When he first talked about disinfectant, I thought he was trying to sell me disinfectant. You know, $250 a 50-gallon drum. But they've got little sachets here, which cost a few pesos. Potassium monosulfate triple salt. Whatever that is, I'll Google it. Because that's a cheap disinfectant. If it's any good, I can do what I'm doing now. Alternate between the disinfectant I'm making with vinegar to that one, and then go back to vinegar. Always better to have more than one disinfectant. So we're all cleaned up, disinfected. Pigs are being fed. They'll get topped up again at 4 o'clock because they're not going to sleep until about 8:30. We have a light bulb there. So while they're active, I want feed in front of them. Now we came down 3/4 of an hour ago to sort them out, and they were laid all over the pen.
No.
So they're warm. So I've turned the showers on, which will come on every hour. And we'll see how they react to them this time. One's getting excited. None of them are going under it yet. They're obviously not that warm, else they'd be underneath it.
They will get used on it, then they will be under the shop.
That's it.
So you will leave it on until 4 o'clock?
I might knock it off at 3. So the floor on the top half will dry anyway.
Yeah, same as that one, no?
Yeah. Well, it knocks itself off at 4 o'clock. That's the last watering. Ah, he's having a sniff. Yeah. That's a littlest one there, and he's getting a ridge down his back, so he's put a bit of weight on. But the bigger ones, markedly, you can see they've grown. They're a lot taller now than what they were. I imagine the small ones are taller as well. It's just not as noticeable with the small ones. Right, to make a concluding video, we've just fed in. We've put about 10 kilos of feed in there, so they won't eat it all, but make sure they have enough. So the other little job I've got to do, which I didn't do yesterday, is clean the mosquito thing with my little brush. So I'll do that now, and then we'll finish the video off. Yeah, so we went to look at the pigs this morning, and they're being sold. But we've got the woman's Facebook page, and if there's back word given, she'll give us a ring, and there'll be more pigs ready in April, I think she said. But we didn't look at the pigs. We weren't allowed in the piggery, which is fair enough. But I'm away 12th of March for 10 days, so I'm not in any rush really to get pigs in before I go. But if pigs come up, I will buy some more before I go. But we need to be looking when we get back to filling 3 pens, I think. 36 pigs. In for a penny, in for a pound. If you're going to make a profit, you might as well make a profit on 36 pigs as opposed to 12. Now, if you're going to make a loss, you make a loss on 36 pigs as opposed to 12, but that's not the way to think. So we'll leave this video there, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. Just a footnote to the last video. If you remember yesterday or the day before, we tested the feed for the pH value, and it was neutral at 7. Now this feed I made this morning, and it's been stood in the shed all day, and it's quite a warm day, so I thought, well, it's probably starting to ferment. And sure enough, I've measured the pH again, and we're getting 6. So it's dropped 1 point. Now that feed, we've half used it now, but if we'd left that feed another day or up to 3 days, it would have fermented even more and probably got down to 4. When it drops in the pH, it tells you that I forget how it works now. I've never fermented feed, but I read about it. I've been reading about it quite a lot, but not for the last 3 weeks. So it does tell you when the pH drops that you've got no bad yeasts in there, only good yeasts. If yeasts go out of control, they need acidity, and you can get problems with yeast when you ferment feed. But the low pH allows other good things to happen, which I can't off the top of my head tell you what. I'd have to read all the data I read again. So in 1 day it's dropped 1 point, or 1 afternoon really. So it has started to ferment, although I'm not trying to ferment it at the moment. But that's maybe of interest to you, it's of interest to me. So we'll leave it there.